So the same thing, I have I have done the animation right now, 0% at start, and you see that, and it just shows up. So the same thing will happen to grow. In this case, we can copy what is it, the keyframes. We can copy the properties. So if you just want to copy, you can just one thing you should do is select that opacity from here, maybe, because when you select, all the keyframes from beginning to end will be selected. But if you want some group of keyframes, you can just select it like this, copy it, and now wherever your time indicator is, if you move it to forward and paste, selecting that particular layer, group, let's activate it, group, that is exactly where the keyframe will start from. So let's paste it, Control V. I hope it's pasted. Let me copy again, please. It has pasted. So if I press T, that's it. Alright, so the same thing will happen to when the grow will come up. But you know, one of the dots is supposed to show, so let's bring in the dots down to where it's supposed to be, right underneath underneath grow, so that we'll be watching the things sequentially. So from here, the dot is supposed to be visible too. So we can just press T, and we still have a copy of the opacity. So just press Ctrl V, and it's pasted. Okay. Then the next dot will come in. Dot 2 will come in after grow. Let's change the look now. Purple. All the dots should have the same look. Purple, if you like. It's not compulsory. Alright, so we'll come here and also paste, and just press T so that we see it. Ctrl V, and evolve will come a little bit forward, and press T, Ctrl V, and it's pasted. Then the dot circle, we're going to do something different to it. So let's activate all this. So first of all, let's take it to 6 seconds and end the loop there. Alt and your question mark, and you have a view, and so you play. So you see that. So we have it going that way. Learn, grow, evolve. Okay. Learn, grow, evolve. It's quite fast anyway, but you know, just for us to we can also adjust the keyframes. Now, the way I best to do this, because when you're selecting keyframes, and they are very much like this, there's a tilde key. The tilde key, I'm sure most of you don't know the tilde key, but the tilde key is right behind the number 1 key, 1, and above the tab key is a tilde key. So if you watch this layer, this panel is the one selected. When I'm on the composition layer, you will see a blue line selected. If I'm on the project, you will see a blue line. So the tilde key respects the panel that is selected. If I select the composition and press the tilde key, it becomes the full screen. If I press it again, it goes out. So if I press the timeline key, the timeline panel, it becomes a full screen. So this way I can select keyframes. You understand? I don't want to select it, so I hold on Shift and click on the keyframe, and it's out of the way. Then I can adjust. Because I feel it's very fast, I can adjust and press the tilde key, and I'm back. So this is, one thing you're going to enjoy in these classes, and a very fast way to work. A very fast way to work, and a very good way. I didn't learn this from most of those YouTube videos. It was quite hard. Okay, I just had to be asking questions and every day I learn. Even yesterday I learned. Okay, so I'm going to select all of these keyframes. And again, let me use the tilde method now. I want to select all of these keyframes. This was not selected, so, and tilde key, and I'm going to press this keyframe wing and activate it, and the animation will now look very sweeter. Grow, evolve. So you see that now, so that's quite better. If you like, you can shift it more in your own, but let's have this, work. All right, so for the last one, which is the dots circles, which is almost not showing, I'm going to make it grow. Okay, but the growing here is going to be with scaling. That's the growing. Okay, so I'll go down to where we have the dot circles and press S. Okay, S for scale. So we have learned three things now: P for position, T for opacity, S for scale. So for this scale, let me take it a little further to 8 seconds. Okay, I want the scale to actually start even from beginning too. So it mustn't start, when others have ended, it should start from beginning. So, but I want it to grow. That's the thing I want it to do. So from beginning here, it's at 100% now, and it's okay. And we can, the 100% here doesn't mean that it cannot be more than 100%. It can be more than 100%. Unlike opacity cannot be more than 100%. But scale here, 100% here is telling that this is the size it came with. This is the 100% size it came with. Okay, if you reduce it, it's less than the size it came with. That's just all. Doesn't mean that it must stop at 100%. So if we select it now, like activate it now, we are starting from the size. Let's agree we are starting from the size, or let's take it a little bit down to 80. I just hope you guys can see it because it's almost not visible. Okay, so it's reduced now. And if I take it to the end of the animation and tell it to get to like 150%, so you see it will grow to that point. That's by the end of this, it should have grown. So one thing is going to do that throughout the animation, you will watch it scaling up. And that's exactly how most animations are. This is the secret of many animations that that makes sense. Each animation makes a lot of sense. It's perhaps scaling and all these subtle effects you are just adding. Okay, so now you can choose to add more than a particular keyframe to one. Like here we have added scale. We can also add opacity. We can also add position to all of them. So but I don't know where we're going to do that now. Okay, let's do that on the learn, grow, evolve. Okay, so on the learn, let's go to learn, and I'm going to show us a shortcut now. This is evolve, this is .2, this is grow, .1, this is learn. Let's make all this a particular color, brown. Not really a nice color, but you get where we are going to. So now if there is a keyframe in a layer and you don't know that there is a keyframe in it, perhaps you really want to find out if there's a keyframe in it, if that thing is working. U is your best key. If you use U, you will see all the keyframes. Let me until that key now. If you use U, you will remove or make the keyframes invisible, and when you press U, to make all the keyframes in that particular layer visible. But remember, we selected all these layers, so one action is acting on all of them. Like for instance, make it visible, all of them will be invisible. And the same thing when we choose color. Let's change that color now, green, at least the academic color. So when we make a command, all of them is acting. So it's the same thing when we press S, all the scales come out. The scale for that particular layer come out. And so if we go to maybe at the beginning here, and activate the scale. You will notice all the scales we activate, they are all activated. And we go to the end here and we say let the scale grow by just 20%. So anyone we select at all and type 120, it will affect all of them. So that's what I'm trying to say. So but of course it will actually make no good sense why that all of them is growing and they are not spacing, but they are growing into one another. This is a very bad error, okay, because we have, but there's a solution. Okay, there are many ways I could solve this. I could use the pre-composition, which I'm going to introduce now, and I could use the null object. Okay, I could also do that too. Alright, so let's undo now the command. Yeah, so we are no longer in the scale team. Now pre-composition is like a smart object in Photoshop and grouping in Illustrator. It means that there are objects inside a particular group that are working together. A command is acting on the group while the group has command inside them, or the individual elements in the group have various commands. So we have selected these 5 elements, okay, and one thing we can do is right click on it. I hope it's there because I've been using shortcuts since. Pre-compose. Yeah, the shortcut is Ctrl+Shift+C. Okay, so we can give it a name. We'll call it the mantra because that's what is the 5. So now everything is inside. The learn, grow, evolve. Everything is inside, and if we double click inside, you will see them. They are all separate, and we can go back to this particular mantra to and find it, or open here and find it. Another method is the tab key. Once you are wherever your mouse is anyway, if you just press the tab key, you can go back to mantra 2. If you press the tab key again, go back to the name we always started from. The tab key, wherever your mouse is, it will just follow you and show you. So it's a very good way of working. So but where I want to make the command is on the mantra pre-composition. Okay, I want that from beginning. I activate the scale starts, and at the end press the end key, goes to the end. The scale should grow 120. So watch what will happen now. You see, they don't grow into each other, unlike the previous command. So this is another way. I would have wanted to be showing you how we can have 2 keyframes in one layer, but for this kind of example, it will not work. So let's go back to, okay, let's just play it and watch what happens. So everything is growing, learn, grow, evolve, and it's scaling gradually. It's almost unnoticeable, but it's scaling, okay, because it's moving from 100% to 20% of its size. Okay, and so that is it. Alright, so I'm going to end this class, and I want to also see you do your own. And definitely what I want now that you should do is you're going to be posting your animations on Instagram. Make sure you're on Instagram, then posting on Instagram and tag us. Okay, you will use the hashtag Marker Animation Academy. That's what you're going to use to tag us. Okay, from now till Friday, let's have you create something. I'm also going to send these files to you on the group so that you can use them to play with. You can just replicate it or do something much more different. Alright, but so far I hope you've been able to learn something. And until next class, peace out.